people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel and you're joining me for episode 14, I think it is, of the Adventures of Yarnia. This is my crochet and knitting podcast where I talk about the other creative side of my life, basically involving all things yarn and colour and making, and I hope that you have grabbed yourself a drink, got yourself settled in with something nice to do, perhaps whilst you're watching this, and we are going to have some time talking about things I've finished, things I'm working on, and as you can see, I'm also in a different spot in the house. Now, it's the 31st of January today. It is a cold and sunny day out there, so the light may keep changing a little bit, but hopefully it's gonna be okay. So you can find me on the internet as Elibeth Designs UK. That is the name of my stationery business. I make planner stickers. Yeah, I actually make stickers for a living. It's, yeah, best job ever. I also make handmade project bags from time to time which go in my shop, as well as stocking Bible journaling supplies and yeah, various other things at time to time, basically in the planner and craft related area. So I've got a couple of finished things to share with you, and we're going to start with my Norah George Yarns Harry Potter Blanket Club square that I finished, which is for the November set of colours, which I will have shown you this part finished last time, and here it is now. So I am making a mitered squares blanket. You can see there the centre seams are all lined up, so they work beautifully, and I've even blocked my squares as well. So last time when I've shown you this before, only the first one from July was blocked, but now I have also blocked August? No, that was June one, that's August, that's July, sorry. Then we had August, September, and this is October, not November. I got myself mixed up. So this is October's. And the theme for this one was the Tri-Wizard tournament, and so don't ask me to name all the yarns because I can't quite remember, but I can tell you if I look in my craft notebook. So let me find, because I have got in here, I have a spread all about my Harry Potter blanket, how I'm making it, and I also have all of the colourway cards. If that one wants to unfold as well, come on, there we go, all of the colourway cards. I think I've got a couple, yes, I've got this year's to add, I've got January and February still to add, but here we go. So October was the Tri-Wizard tournament, so it's this one here, and so we have the blue, which will have been Beau Baton, the yellow with Cedric Diggory, then we have Victor Crumb for the red, the Goblet of Fire, which is actually the one that's kind of micro-striped, which I'll show you in a sec, and the Last Task. So those were the 5 colours that I've used, and you can see the early ones there too. So, and that also means that I'm now working on this square, which, oh my word, some of the colours in this are just amazing. So yes, this is the one that is meant to be the Goblet of Fire. So in the picture it definitely looks like it's got a lot more yellow in it, and orange, but I actually really like how that's come together. It is, as ever, Tracy is a yarn dyeing genius and it's just beautiful. So that's my Harry Potter blanket progress. I haven't joined those together yet because I'm still not quite sure how big I'm going to make it. Having got, what have I got there, 5 squares? Did I mean 5? Yeah, 5 squares. I'm like, have I got 5? 1, 2. Yes, I've got 5. Each block is about 11 inches across. So I'm just holding up a different one now. So yeah, I kind of feel like a 3x4 is just too small, which would be 12, which would be really nice because then it'd be one of each month. Which the next obvious one then is to go to a 6x8 and do 2 for each month, which I think is what I'm probably going to do, which means this is a much longer term project than I'd actually planned for, but that's okay. So yes, I have decided that I'm definitely going to keep going with it so that I've got a year's worth, and then yeah, I will probably stop the club after that, because I will have a lot of yarn by then, like 60 mini skeins. Oh my word, 60 Harry Potter colourways. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. So the other thing is, of course, if I do a second square for each month, I can switch around the placement of the colours in the square, which will be quite satisfying because there's always one, the centre one, that I only ever use the colour once. So I'm looking forward to kind of doing that. So the next thing that I want to talk to you about is my Rainbow Chronicles update, which is in 2 parts. The first being the Rainbow Sock Chronicles, and I just want to show you a couple of things that I got from Jules at So Sweet Violet. First being this box to keep my socks in. So at the end of this year, this is going to have 12 pairs of hand knit socks in a beautiful rainbow, which is just going to be lovely. And it's really lovely, you know, as boxes go, it's a pretty nice box. It's actually got a magnetic closure. Let's see if I can get it to do it. Oh, and this little ribbon tab there, and then the gold foil stamped logo for the Rainbow Sock Chronicles. And the other thing that I got alongside that is this pin, which, oh my days. So there we go, so that is the pin for the knit along as well, and it was designed, I believe, by Jules and her son, I think. Forgive me if I'm wrong with that. But the whole knit along is being run by Jules at So Sweet Violet, sorry I don't think I said this before, and Kelly at Lay Family Yarn. And they both have YouTube channels, so I will try and remember to leave them linked down below. And in fact, on that note, I'm going to try and do a much better job of adding things into my description down below for you, because I do get quite a few questions because I tend to not write show notes up until now. But I'm going to do that now. So I have the pin and I have the box because, you know, if you're going to do something, you might as well do it. Those of you who may be wondering, this is a little pouch which has got a pair of rainbow socks in, funnily enough. It's actually from Cocoa Daisy, who are a planner box that I'm on the design team for, and I don't think you're going to get this again because this was from April last year. So sorry if you're like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. Yeah, it kind of was. I have to say, I really, really love it. So that has got a pair of socks at the moment. But as to the ones that I have finished, they are these. So these are the Lola Socks, which is a pattern by Jules, and they were the official Strictly Sock Along sock pattern, which is a knit along hosted by, let me get it right, Ali over at Little Drops of Wonderful. I really enjoy her podcast. She's so down to earth and real, and she's the kind of person that I'd just love to sit and have a cup of tea with, you know. But anyway, so there we go. So this is the socks that I've knit. They are the Lola pattern, and I'll take one off the blocker in a minute to show you the front lace. But I just wanted to show you this heel because I think it's the Goday heel, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've never done one before. It was within the pattern, and I really like it. It's just dead easy. You just kind of do a load of increasing somehow, and then you do your gusset decreases, and poof, you've got a heel. It's like magic. No picking up. no casting on, no, it's just you just knit and then it sort of happens. I did, what did I do for my toe? I did an umbrella toe because it's one of my favourite toes, which is by Kay over at the Bakery Bears, and the pattern has you stripe in the contrast right at the very end. Now, with me using a pinky yarn, which incidentally is from Kelly at Lay Family Yarns, it is the vintage fabric yarn, I think. I haven't got the rest of it with me, which is very nice. Oh my gosh, look at that perfect sock off the blocker. But because it already had quite a lot of pink in, and obviously it's a pinky base, yeah, the contrast hasn't come out quite as well as perhaps it could have done. Let's see if I can get that to, there you go. But it's come out quite nicely. And I can't wait to wear these. They've been on the blocker for about a week and a half waiting for me to record. So let me just slip my hand inside. I feel like I'm making a sock puppet now. And show you this. Oh my word, this lace has blocked so beautifully. I've literally not taken these off the blocker yet. Look at that. How beautiful has that come out? So it's so clever because it's literally a 4-round repeat, and you only do something different on one of the rounds. So it's just so easy. Though I say it's so easy, it does have you doing a knit 3 through the back loop. Oh my goodness me. Yes, I found that stitch quite difficult, and it didn't to do, and I mean, you know, I was literally on the second sock counting down, I've got 10 more to do, I've got 9 more to do with this particular stitch, because it really was quite tricky. And all the YouTube videos that I could find just said, oh yes, just stick your needle through the back loop of 3 and then knit them. And I was like, yes, but I keep slipping, or I can't get it, or whatever. I knit them on Chalgu red lace mini circulars, the 9-inch, and I do wonder, had I been on magic loop, I would have had a slightly longer, pointier tip, as it were, so I wonder if that might have been easier. But in the end, I got there, I figured out what to do. There were a couple of points where I grabbed my crochet hook to do it, but they are done, they are beautiful, and I am going to give these, I think, their inaugural wear tomorrow, because nothing brightens up your Monday morning like a pair of brand new hand knit socks. Apparently. So there we go. So those are my Lola socks, which I am super pleased with. Now, the other part of the Rainbow Chronicles that I am doing this year is living in this bag, which I made. It's made from some Tilda fabric. I think it's the Apple Butter collection, and I just basically sewed some strips together. I had a jelly roll, added a contrast bottom to it, and then away we went. It's just a zip. I normally do drawstring bags, but I really wanted the fabric to show, so I did put a zip in it. And in this I have got my corner to corner crochet blanket. Again, I'm using yarn from Kelly at Lay Family Yarn, and each month she's producing a mini palette pack in the colour of the month. So January was pink, February is red, kind of dark pink, March is going to be peach and orange, and then so on through the rainbow, with 3 months in which you can kind of add anything to, really. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with the blanket at that point. That'll be interesting to see. So I have never done a corner to corner blanket before, this one, and I am loving it. Look at this! Oh, I'm going to lean back, I can't get it all in frame. So there is a stitch marker somewhere, there we go, a little butterfly stitch marker, just in here. which marks the end of January and the start of February. So you can see I've got a little bit more February's to do, which, given that it's the 31st of January, I think that's okay. But my plan is to kind of increase and increase and increase until I reach, and I can't quite remember what my measurements are because I did a lot of maths to get there, but it's all in my notebook, so that's fine. I think I worked out it's going to be about 3 months of increasing, 3.5 months of increasing. Then I'm going to work straight, so increase one side, decrease the other, I think is how that happens. And then I will go back to decreasing both sides at the end to make it rectangular. This is what I've got left to put in from the February palette. Let me just check, is that, yeah, so it's 3 colours left in there. How pretty does that look all together? And this then is the March palette, which again, oh, my skein's gone a bit messy. I've been having ball winder issues. If you know, you know. And yeah, I had to get Luke to fix it for me. I've actually got a wooden one. It's not the Knit Pro one. It was a lot cheaper than that. I think I've discovered why. But we have now adjusted and it is working a lot better. But here we go. There are actually 10 colours, 10 gram mini skeins in that. And oh, it's, you know, I don't like orange that much. But I think I'm going to really enjoy going through these because it's not just orange. There is all sorts in there. There's hints of yellow and lemon ready for April's colours, and the next palette packs are out on the 6th of February. I think the 6th is the next shop update for Kelly, so I am looking forward to picking up April. And oh my gosh, it smells so good as well because yarn, it smells good. I'm using a 3.75mm crochet hook. I'm using a clover and more hook because those are my favourites, and they've got a nice soft grip. I crochet in a, is that a knife hold? Yes, a knife hold. It's not really a knife hold, it's more of a I'm going to stab you with this hold, rather than a pencil one. Or I mean, I don't hold my pencil like that anyway, I write my thumbs in all sorts of places. But yeah, so that is a 3.75mm or an F if you go off letters. I don't. And this has been keeping me company during piano teaching. So I've been teaching via Zoom this half term and last half term and the half term before that. Most of the half term before that, and I found that it is just perfect for basically stopping me playing, because otherwise I want to play, and so I have this just on my lap and I've been working away on it. Just look at the texture in this. Let me find you some of my favourite bits. I love this bit here with this yellowy peachy golden colour with pinks in as well. Oh, so pretty. So really loving that project. I'm always a bit dubious, because I know myself, about doing a project which has got only one stitch over and over again. And yeah, I wasn't sure. When I started I was like, oh, I really hope that this is going to have enough interest in terms of the colour changes and working towards that, yeah, because 10 grams isn't that much really to crochet. It goes relatively quickly, and yeah, it actually has been keeping my interest. I'm really pleased about that, because you don't want to start a blanket and get part way through and go, I just don't want to finish this, do you? It's not good. And because I'm only working on it really when I'm teaching, I tend to finish my teaching, which is at most an hour and a half at a time in one sitting, and I'm kind of like, oh, I want to do some more, but I'm not letting myself know, because otherwise I'll get bored of it. So So that is the corner to corner blanket, and that sort of is my partly finished because I've finished the January colours, and also obviously it's still a very long work in progress. Right, time for a mouthful of coffee. That's better. So I have my whip basket over here. It is very full as ever, as you can see. And I'm just going to give you a little update on the Quest scarf that I have been knitting. It really is only a little update because I've done very little on it. I was knitting this with the Norah George Yarns Advent Calendar for 2020. The yarns are absolutely beautiful. It's all based on the Secret Garden, and of course now that I've pulled this out I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to knit on this right away. Ah, that's helpful. I've stopped partway through a row. Oh, never mind, we'll manage. So let me just untangle myself because I've got 2 balls of yarn because I'm in a brioche section. These are the 2 that I'm currently using. Couldn't really tell you which colourways they are, but yeah, we'll work out what day they were. Because I think, oh no, actually, right, yes, story time. So I had started knitting this with the yarns in the order they came in the Advent calendar because that seemed a logical way to do it. Oh my gosh, this really is. There we go, we're free. Here we go. So you can see there I've got sort of days 1, 2, have I got this the right way around? Yes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that is day 11. And I think that is day 12, this sort of blue one here that I've got my fingers on. And then I decided that actually I didn't, because I think this is going to stretch a lot and I think it's going to be absolutely massive with 24 minis. So, because I mean at the moment it's like, I don't tend to wrap my scarves and it's down to my belly button, just below my belly button as I'm sat down, and it's round here and it's not blocked and it is going to grow. So to say I'm not going to do 24 minis, I think I'm going to end up doing about 18, which means it gets finished faster. Yeah. So I picked out my favourites, and don't ask me to fish them out because they're crammed in here so well. And I'm just going to sort of plug away at it when I feel like doing a little bit, and then we'll gradually get it finished. But it is absolutely beautiful. The pattern is gorgeous. I love the premise of the pattern. It is the Quest by RhyFlowerKnits, and the idea is that each section you have a little part of the story. You have to roll a dice to find out what happens in the story, and like choose your own adventure type thing, and that then determines which section you knit next. So yes, there we go. So that is my Quest scarf. So it's had a little bit of attention, not a lot, but some. If I wasn't casting on something new tomorrow, I think it'd be getting a lot more this coming week, but I'm gonna have to figure out a way to knit all of the things. It might involve a time machine. So that's that one. Then what else have we got that I've shown you before? I don't think I have got anything else that I've shown you before. No, I haven't. What's that? Oh, that's my Norah George yarns. The November square I've literally just cast on with one of the first little minis. So really not very much to say about that. It is literally just started. But hopefully this month my aim is to finish that square. Another Cocoa Daisy pouch, which I just think are super cute for little projects. And then we come to something totally new, which I actually only started yesterday. And I've been going a bit bonkers on. I bought this book, Cat Knits by Marna Gilligan. I bought it towards the end of last year. I had made the cat vent cowl, which is a pattern by her. And I'm trying to remember, I should really know what it is, what her Instagram is. Oh. Here we go. Yeah, so I'll show you this bit here. So she designed the Sinister Catdigan, and you can see that her Instagram handle and things. I will pop on the screen or in the notes where you can find her as well, because I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I'm pretty certain it's Irish or Scottish, or I should really know that, shouldn't I? But I don't. I'm sorry. I think it's Irish, and I can't pronounce it. So yeah, and basically the cat vent cowl I knit a year ago. I was certainly knitting it a year ago. Wow, that went fast. And it has these amazing little cats peeking on the design, and I think in here there is a cowl which just has one of the cat designs. Let me find it if I can. Where are you? I know, I've seen you. Yeah, here we go. So the covered in cats cowl. And I mean, the photography in this book is beautiful as well. I mean, I love the cats featured. You can see there you've got the little cats peeking out. And there's also a pair of kitten mittens, because, you know, I need kitten mittens like this. However, I don't like having my fingers all enclosed in a mitten. I prefer fingerless gloves. So I decided to use the cat design and the basic construction and make myself adapt it to make a pair of fingerless gloves. And the yarn I'm using is left over from a sweater that I made a couple of years ago. It's this beautiful pairing. This is Dragon's Hole. Again, these are Norah George yarns, and it's blowing out slightly on camera, but it is the most amazing mix of teals and greens and blues, and occasionally a little bit of purple, and willow, which again it's just beautiful greens and neutrals and golds. It's just gorgeous. And so I had that left over. Oh, I'm bringing extra needles with me here. That many different size needles on the go for this. And this is what we've got. Can you see the little cats peeking out? Aren't they cute? There we go. So I just did a simple rib at the top. Did a nice stretchy cast on. And then I knit the cat pattern. I did the thumb as it suggested, do it separately and then attach it. And then you go through the thumb gusset, and then I kind of kept going until when I tried it on, it was about here on me. And then I've actually started a rib, and I reckon I just need to do maybe another 1 or 2 rounds of that and I can cast it off. Didn't have quite enough time before church this morning. But yeah, I literally started this yesterday afternoon, about 24 hours ago, and I just loved doing the colour work so much, and I just kept going and going and going on it in the evening, and then I spent some time on it this morning. And obviously I've got to do the other one. Don't ask to see the inside because the ends on this, there are many. But because you've got the floats, of course, going across with the colour work, they're going to be super snuggly. And yeah, I don't think, no, I can't try it on because I've got it on a 9-inch circular, so I'm not going to put it on, otherwise I'm going to end up dropping stitches. But that is my kitten mitten, and I just think that's perfect. When I go out walking, or when I'm walking our dog, or when I am you know, just gone for a walk, I always have fingerless gloves on, and they're brilliant just for keeping you warm. If your wrists are warm, your fingers are warm. This, when I'm looking at the colour work, it, like here, you know, I've got some loose stitches here and there, but with blocking that is going to even out, I think. So I do have some mitten blockers. I took a bit of a guess at what size to make, how many stitches to cast on. I kind of looked at the pattern and went, I think this will work. They're a little bit larger than my other pair that I have. I'm desperate to put it on my hand, can you tell? But I don't think that's a bad thing, because as I say, they have got that kind of double layer effect because of having all of the floats inside. Oh, so many floats. But yes, it was fun to do something that had a little bit more, was a bit of a different challenge in terms of, you know, using colour work, and really fun to do something in DK weight yarn, because I've not done anything in DK weight for ages like this. So I'm hoping by the end of February, well actually I'm hoping within the next sort of couple of weeks, I'll have got the other one finished. I know I've done that first one in the space of a day nearly, or I will have once I have just done those last couple of rows and cast off. But I know myself that I've got busy work weeks coming up, and with home, well, school at home, it's not homeschooling, it's school at home, I know that I'm going to won't have quite as much time to dedicate. This is living in another one of my little bags. This one is actually a snap fastening. It's not a type that I've put in the shop before, and I really like having that, because then you can actually keep your yarn in there and feed it through the sides, which is perfect for doing colour work. Right, what else is in my basket, I hear you cry? There is a bag full of minis which are going into my granny stripe sock yarn blanket. I'm not going to talk about that today because, to be honest, there's not much progress on it. And there is also the start of my Meadow blanket. This is the Attic 24 crochet along for 2021. If you have seen Lucy's Instagram, you'll know exactly why I love Lucy and her designs, because she is just full of colour and looking for the good in things, and this is the start of my crochet blanket. So I am using the yarn pack, which has been picked out by Lucy, and it has 15 colours of Stylecraft Special DK, which is a really nice acrylic to work with. I'm not going to show you that end because that's where all my ends are, so it's not as neat as this end. So you can see there the pattern, or the stripes that are in there. And I've not got all the colours in yet because some of them don't come until later, because this is a colour story designed blanket. So the idea is that as you look at the blanket, I'll try and put some pictures in here, you can see it moving from kind of the grass in the meadow and the flowers through into the sky, which I think is just such a lovely way of designing a blanket, and amazing, you know, just to sit and figure all that out within the yarn requirements and everything. I think it's really, really good. It's a free pattern. It's published in, it's an 8-week cal crochet along, but week 7 is a catch-up week, so there's 6 parts of stripes. You may therefore gather that I am not even past part 2. I've only just started part 2. And then there's a border week as well at the end. If you are so inclined, you can get your hands on some Attic 24 Meadow crochet along stickers from my shop, which have stickers to mark in your planner when you've done a part, or to decorate a page about it, or whatever you want to use them for. And Lucy is very lovely in that she has asked me for the last few years to design stickers for the crochet along. The stitch that she's using for this is, it's a cross treble stitch. It's really, really fun to work actually. And the idea is that it kind of mirrors the crossing of the stems and the grasses within the meadow. I have another little butterfly stitch marker there because a butterfly in a meadow just seemed absolutely right. That is from Koruclay Studios, and I think it was in a subscription the other year when I was getting a stitch marker subscription, which I've stopped now because yeah, I've got rather a lot of stitch markers. So I'm not doing the full single bed width blanket. Mine is a bit narrower. I am using, yeah, I basically made it narrower. I can't remember how many I chained. I have got it written down somewhere. In fact, why don't I look in my crochet planner that's like right next to me, because that would be good, wouldn't it? So I actually created for myself some stickers and details about this. I printed off the kind of graphic that Lucy shared on her blog. I made myself some stickers with the colours and I jotted down some of the details. So I actually did 176 stitches and I did it as a foundation treble row. So if you were going to do that as a chain and then work into the chain going backwards, you'd have to do 178 because you need to chain 2, don't you, for a treble? Or is it chain 3 for a treble? 176 plus whatever you chain for a treble. I just prefer doing foundation row because it's just so much easier. And then I also made myself a little spread with the order of the stripes that I'm going to do. Now I was a bit cheeky because I basically used the image that Lucy had shared on her blog for those who didn't want to wait and see what it was going to be, to figure out the stripe order and to figure out which ones I could leave out. Because yes, I'm going to have 82 stripes instead of 90. Is it 90 that she's doing? Can't remember. I think it might be. Anyway, yeah, maths was done and that's what it came out with, that I needed 82 stripes. I was thinking that something that I may add to next year's crochet along, or I might even just throw it in the shop anyway, is something like these little colourway stickers, because they're really useful. Because I actually have got some really tiny ones that I'm putting in my planner each week with the stripes that I want to do, and yeah, that's just been quite helpful for me. So, you know, just something to think about. That's the Meadow Cal, and I think, yes, that's all of the works in progress that I wanted to talk about that I've been on with this past month. So this next section, I wanted to have a little chat to you. Well, actually I want to chat to you about my journal update. But we've sort of been in and out of it a bit, which just goes to show how useful it is if I remember to pick it up and use it. But yeah, I filmed a couple of videos sharing my planner lineup for this year, and again I'll try and link those in the description box down below, or if you just look for Hello 2021 planner lineups, one of the videos you'll find talks you through my traveller's notebook, and specifically this insert, which as you may gather actually goes with that, because it was from the April Cocoa Daisy collection from last year. And in it I have got I've got ideas and plans of what I want to make. I've got my Harry Potter blanket club progress with the different months written out with the themes, and I'm ticking them off as I go, as well as the actual notes for how I'm doing my squares and the crochet border around, because I'm actually crocheting my border because I don't like knitted borders. I've got notes about I've got space for my 12 pairs of socks this year, for the rainbow sock along. I have, remember I said to you about the maths with my blanket for the corner to corner, so I have that stuck in there as well. I need to mark off a lot more of that because I've also been tallying how many stripes I've done on my blanket and therefore how many colours I've got left to go. So there we go, we've just updated February to have 7 stripes have been done. I've got 3 to go, and I'm keeping track of the weight of the actual mini skeins as well, because Kelly always has overweight skeins, and that is a good thing, very good thing. Well, so far she has anyway, because I thought then I will know what weight I need to have at the other end of my blanket in order to make it square and not too long and skinny. Make it rectangular even. I know what I mean. Hopefully you do as well. Then I've got my bit about the Meadow blanket, and then I also just have some notes about other projects. And then I've got notes of my sort of favourite heels, toes and cuffs for knitting socks, and that's just, you know, that sits in the living room. It's also got my kind of diary journal in it as well, in other notebooks, and I just really love it. This, by the way, in case you are not part of the planner community and like, what is that you're holding? This is a personal traveller's notebook. It is from a company called Foxy Fix in the States. They are not currently open, sorry guys, but there is a, you know, there's a buy sell trade group on Facebook, and you can find things on there from time to time. You may be able to see I have a few Foxy Fix notebooks and planners because they're beautiful. Other plans that I have then are for February's socks. Living in, this is pretty much the first project bag that I ever made, and I look at it now, I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. I mean check that out for a first attempt at a boxed bottom, you know. And if you know me and my project bags, you knew that I was going to have to say that at least once. Didn't understand how drawstrings worked though, but never mind, that's okay. We invented it, it's still functional, it works. So I have got, for February, I have got great plans. Well, I think they're great. Hopefully they're going to work. Let me just fish these yarns out. So Kay Jones over at the Baby Bears is hosting a knit along in the run up to Valentine's Day. It's called Valenvent. And if you watch the Baby Bears podcast, which if you don't, I highly recommend that you do, you may have shared with me in chuckling at all of the different meanings that they were coming up for this word. Like, you know, what was one of them? Something like, it sounded like something you would open in a caravan to let air in, a Valenvent. It's funny. Anyway, the socks that she has got, because it's socks obviously, coming on, I think they're being released on Valentine's Day generally, but Bakery Bear patrons are getting the pattern a little bit at a time in the run up to Valentine's Day, hence the idea of it being like an advent, a Valentine's advent, Valenvent. We'll get there eventually with explaining things properly. So in their patrons only Facebook group, there's going to be a little bit of pattern released each day. And the socks are called the sampler socks, if memory serves correctly, and both socks are different, which is very exciting because no second sock syndrome, and also it means there's like 5 pattern sections on each of the 2 socks. Yes, because you need 2 to make a pair. So what that means, so I was there thinking, 5 sections on each sock. That kind of feels like it wants to be made with a mini skein set. And then I'd also seen the, I think they're called the palette socks, which are gorgeous. And again, they do this idea with 5 mini skeins, but then white in between. I think there's some detail on it as well in the pattern, like eyelets, or there's something going on in the white sections. In between each section, I thought, I wonder if I can combine the two ideas together and make my Valentine socks, which will also then be my February Rainbow Sock Chronicles socks. How many times can I say socks in one explanation? And you're all just thinking, Rachel, get to the yarn already. And that is exactly what I'm going to try and do. So I have got, from last year, from Giddy and Yarns, I bought their Flower Power Fund Rose collection. So this was sold to raise money for, it was for Marie Curie, and it's a gorgeous mini skein set. I've wound 2 and then decided the ball winder wasn't playing very well with me, and then I've got 3 that I'm going to wind by hand when I need them. But let me try and show you these, because oh my goodness me, look at the colours in these. They're amazing. I'm going to come back a bit so it doesn't blow out too much. But this here, this first one, is the most beautiful burgundy red kind of colour. It is blowing a little on camera. It is deeper and darker than I'm seeing on my screen at the moment. And it is just stunning. What I may try and do is pop in a photograph of the original sock set so that you can see, or mini skein set. And then because the dyed is gradient, the second one then has got some greens coming into it as well. And then we have the next 3, again with the pinks and the reds, getting more and more green until we get that one there. Now, the rules of Rainbow Sock Chronicles is they have to be in the colour of the month, or predominantly. I feel that there's enough red in those for them to qualify, so I think we'll be okay. Plus, roses are red, and the yarn is called, you know, the Rose Collection, so we're going with that. I then have to go against it, and this is really going to confuse the camera now. Oh, actually no, this is showing more true to colour now. I have this plain undyed yarn, which is an opal sock yarn, and I got a skein of their undyed just because I thought for heels, toes and cuffs it'd be really, really useful. And so that is going to be used for heels, toes, cuffs, and Kay confirmed when I asked her that there is or that there are a few rows of plain knitting, plain stockinette. I'm going to see if I can get all these in now and show you those as well, because if I've got the white it might just show it up better. There we go. Yeah, so she said there are a few rounds of plain stockinette in between each section. So my thinking is that if I, oh look at those colours, so pretty. If I use this, then I'm going to get the kind of colour palette effect that I am after as well. No, that's possibly a little bit too much for the camera because I'm not really getting the greens there, are we? Never mind. Never mind, never mind, never mind. I can assure you when these are knit, they are going to be beautiful. The idea of knitting a pair of socks in 14 days though, feels a bit challenging. I feel like I'm having to gear up for it. So those are my February socks I've got planned. I've shown you my February, well, it's actually the March blanket palette pack. But I'll certainly finish the February one. And I'm going to do the Norah George Harry Potter Club, the November square. So those are kind of my plans for things I really want to finish this coming month in February. And obviously I want to put some more work onto my Meadow blanket and the Quest shawl, scarf, wrap thing. It nearly got turned into a cowl. That's how fed up I was the other week when I was in a bit of a, I just want to finish something. Yeah, I nearly seamed it and just made it into a cowl. Still debate about it, to be honest. Anyway. And the kitten mittens. Who could forget the kitten mittens? So those are all of my plans. The only little incoming things that I have to show you, apart from the box and pin that I already showed you, are my Norah George minis. I think I showed you the January ones last time for the Harry Potter Club, which were based, the theme was Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. And I think I've shown you these, but just in case I didn't, let me show you those. Aren't they gorgeous? I have got the little colourway card, again, in here. I've not stuck it in yet because I needed to get my washi tape ready to do it. But here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. So you can see there the colourways. So the blue is Puking Pastels. Then we've got that pinky, bluey, greeny, yellowy, everything one is Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, which is another one that I wonder if that's a micro stripy one. Then we've got Nosebleed Nougat. I really hate the word nougat. But yeah, which is this orange and purple one. We've got Canary Creams. I love the idea of a sweet that turns you into a canary. It's so much fun. And Arnold the Pygmy Puff is the purple. So really, really lovely. I love these little cards as well. And then I have my February set has already come in. So if you subscribe and you've not received yours yet, because obviously if you are abroad or, you know, in the States or something, you might be waiting on post. Let's not talk about post. So this is the February set, which is a Wizarding Valentine's. And look at these. Aren't they lovely? Let me show you the end there. Oh, they are so, so pretty. So we have got, again, going left to right, we have got Eyes as Green as a Fresh Pickled Toad, which will be this one here, this greeny bluey one. We've got Cho Chang, which will be there. Madame Puddifoot's Tea Rooms. That sort of purple, I really like the purples in that. Romelda's Chocolates. There we go. And Enchanted Galleons. Let's try and get that to show. There we go. Which is a reference, of course, to the Dumbledore's army. That was set up. Yes, it was actually. They did actually meet on Valentine's Day, didn't they, in the book? I love Harry Potter. On that note, something I've been really enjoying, and I mean, you know, maybe I'm late to the party, but in terms of podcasts and reading and things, I've been listening to Harry Potter and the Sacred Text for, at least a year and a half. But if you want to sort of listen to Harry Potter being analysed and discussed from a different point of view, it's a very good podcast. Do give it a listen. So I think that is everything that I wanted to share with you today. My aim, as I think I said last time, is to film monthly podcasts, and doing it at the end of the month seems quite nice because I can then let you know how I'm getting on with those goals and things that I'm setting for myself. And what I would say is, yes, I'm setting goals, but at the end of the day, my crochet and knitting is very much my downtime and self-care, and something I do because I love it. So I'm not going to beat myself up if next time I'm not showing you a completed pair of socks, blanket, bits done and everything. No. We're going to enjoy it. So I would love to know, are you doing the Rainbow Chronicles make along with Lay Family Yarn and So Sweet Violet? Are you doing the Sock Chronicles? Let me know down below if you are. Certainly not too late to join in. And also, if so, what are you making at the moment? And even if you're not doing it, let me know what you're working on. I love to know. Until next time, lovely people, take good care of yourselves, stay safe, and I hope that whatever you're making, that it's brightening up your day. Take care, and bye-bye for now. So my next little finished thing are my January rainbow sock Chronicles knit along. Yes, that was really bad. Let me do that again.